What is up, 8th grade science? Today we are back talking about a little bit of new stuff. We're going to be talking about words that have to do with space. So we're moving into one of our last units right now, and that is the space unit. And to start, today's actually not too tricky of a day. We're just working with a couple vocabulary words, trying to understand their meanings and their sizes. So as you think today, you want to be working on meaning and size for these words. If you can remember the meaning, if you can put them in order of size or mass, you've got it for the day. So here we go. This section up here, because it's Wednesday, we should have skipped. We don't have time for that. But today we are going to start on these words. The first word you need to know is planet. I'm going to write the definition for you right here. It is a celestial body that orbits a star. Zoom out a little bit. There you go. A star. So, of course, Earth is a planet, and we orbit a star. Our star is called the sun. So every planet, every single planet orbits a star, goes around the outside of a star. Right? So now let's talk about star. Planet's the smallest one. Planet's the smallest thing. Next up, next in size comes the star. And a star is a tight ball of burning gas. And it gives off two things. One is heat. The other is light. Star gives off heat. A star gives off light. All right, those are the two things stars give off. Next up, we have nebula. This is the next biggest in size. And nebula is the trickiest one. It's kind of like a star, but it's not quite a star. So our definition for nebula is going to be a loose ball of gas. Notice that I called the star a tight ball of gas. I'm calling a nebula a loose one. And it comes before or after a star. Comes before or after a star. So before there's a star, there's something called a nebula. It's just this giant cloud of gas and dust. It hasn't become a star yet. It's bigger. It's just kind of floating out there. And then after a star gets really tiny and blows up, it becomes a nebula again. So nebulas are bigger than stars, and they come before and after them. All right? Last one we're going to talk about is galaxy. A galaxy is a cluster of gas, dust, and stars. And I want you to put an arrow and write gravity. Galaxies are held together by gravity. In the middle of most galaxies, there's something called a black hole, which y'all have probably heard of, but they're real. It's a black hole. Holds a galaxy together through gravity. All right. And then your last thing here, it is not too tricky, but for some reason it's thrown into this lesson by the state of Texas. They also want you to know the definition of the word comet. A comet is a frozen rock that flies through space, and put comma, has a tail. That is like the defining thing of a comet. That's what makes a comet a comet. If it has a tail out the back, it looks like a shooting star kind of, that makes it a comet. Comets are frozen, and they give off a bright tail. So those are the words you need to know, and the last thing you gotta be able to do is to put the first four in order. So planet, star, nebula, galaxy. You're gonna be asked to put them in order of increasing or decreasing size, increasing and decreasing mass. So the first one right over here, y'all already know what this is. That's Earth. That's a planet. The smallest thing is a planet. One question will ask you about a moon. Remember that moons are smaller than planets, but we talked about moons last class. Right? Planet is the smallest thing in today's lesson. Then next you've got a star. Star is a tight ball of burning gas that gives off heat and light. Then this cloud type thing, this is a nebula. It's a nebula. It's the third biggest. It comes before or after a star, and it's kind of this big loose cloud, so it's not quite put together yet. That's a nebula. And the biggest thing that contains all of this, it has billions of stars, it has tons of planets. It's a galaxy. All right, so right there we have ourselves a galaxy. So today what you got to be good at is knowing the definition of these 5 words, and you got to be able to put planet, star, nebula, and galaxy in order of size. Now that you're done with the video where I want y'all to start, I had the answers there. Almost gave you the answers. Where I want y'all to start is the next page. Up top, you'll start by matching, right here, you'll start by matching the definitions. Next, you'll put the 4 words in order, from smallest to largest. Use your notes to help you. Then you'll put the words in order from largest to smallest. Again, use your notes. And then finally, the rest of this guided practice time, I want you to draw a picture of each of the 4 words above. So planet, draw yourself a planet. Star, you can draw a star, and so on. That'll help you remember what these things are. All right? So now that you are done, take about the next 5 minutes to complete that guided practice side. Great job, y'all.